Trying to make some videos about prayer. And so first of all, disclaimer, I'm not a pro at prayer, but I've been trying to pray for a while, and I've had good friends that have been helping me, so I think I've learned a lot. And there's a lot of things that I wish I had known when I was starting. So I'm just gonna try to make a couple of videos about things that I wish I had known that I think would have made it easier for me to grow in my life with prayer. Particularly what I want to talk about first is about mental prayer. So I don't know if you ever heard this term mental prayer. So just to draw a distinction, there's this thing called vocal prayers. There are things that are pre-written, for example, the Hail Mary or the Our Father. There are things that are just pre-written. A mental prayer is different. It's more talking to God directly. And the way I like to describe mental prayer really is just quality time with God. So hanging out with God, quality time with God. And I think the first trouble that I had with mental prayer was that I didn't really understand why it was so important to do. And so I want to, share with you something that I learned later on that I was like, if I had known this from the beginning, I would have paid much more attention to mental prayer. So, quick analogy. Between a husband and a wife, there's different types of communication, right? Perhaps there's little praises or little compliments that they give to each other, right? Like a text here and there, hey, miss you, or hey, you're pretty, or whatever, right? And with God, the same thing, right? We tell him beautiful things, beautiful praises. We tell him, hey, God, you are great, you are beautiful, you're omnipotent, you are good, you are love, right? And those are great things to do, just like a husband and a wife do these kind of things, right? Also, amongst a husband and a wife, they help each other out. They ask for help, right? Perhaps the husband will be like, hey, does this tie look good, or whatever, and yeah, so they ask help for each other, and they help each other out. And likewise, we ask God for help, right? We ask him, hey, help me with this test, help me with this situation with this friend, or with this person, etc., right? And he also asks help for us sometimes too, and he tells us, hey, could you help me by reaching out to this person or with that person, etc. And that's great. This is good. It's something necessary in our relationship amongst the husband and the wife, and it's also something necessary with God. And also something very important in marriage. It's the sexual embrace, right? When a husband gives himself fully to his wife, and the other way around too. So it's they become one, right? So super intimate union. And with God, we have the Eucharist, right? We become one physically, and it's one of the most amazing things we could ever do in our lives, receive Christ in the Eucharist. So it's something very good in marriage, and also with God in the Eucharist at Mass. However, if you think about our relationship between a husband and a wife, that it's only based on these three things, hey, they just say compliments to each other, help each other out when they need to, and then give fully to each other physically. If that's all they do, it seems like there's something missing in their relationship. There's no quality time. They need to hang out, they need to go on dates, they need to have dinner, they need to watch movies together. They need to spend that quality time to get to know each other, to ask each other, how was your day? What have you been up to? I want to get to know you better, right? It's something that you have to continuously do. And it's the same thing with God, and sometimes I feel like it's easy to forget. We need to spend quality time with God. We need to just be with him, not just ask him and thank him and praise him and receive him in the Eucharist. Yes, those are great things, but if we don't spend quality time with him, then our relationship won't grow, or maybe grow, but it'll take so long, because you're not just spending time and getting to know each other. So this is where mental prayer comes in, because mental prayer is spending quality time with God, and it's essential to our relationship with Christ, and essential to growing in prayer, and essential to just growing in love and being full of life and joy. Alright, well, I hope that helps, and another video coming soon.